The Civil Rights Enforcement Agency of the City of St. Louis monitors and investigates fair housing, equal employment, and public complaints in our city. And joining us with more on the organization's activities is Charles Bryson. Welcome, Charles.
Thank you.
So, a department of the City of St. Louis that's been around for about 50 years.
Yes.
So tell us about how it got started.
It basically started because years ago, the African Americans were not allowed to swim in public pools. And when a order by a mayor allowed that to happen, whites began to riot.
And this was back in the 60s?
This was in the 60s.
Okay.
And so what the mayor did at the time was order not necessarily an investigation, but if you will, a commission to talk about racial equity and racial issues. And out of that came the Office of Human Rights, later became the Office of Civil Rights.
Okay, so same office, but it just developed and changed probably over the years too.
And the name changed more as we became an enforcement agency, as opposed to a lot of human rights organizations are very nice, but they don't have enforcement capability. We actually have enforcement capability.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So enforcement. So give us some examples of how the community might use your services today to enforce the situations that they run into that are against the Fair Housing Act or things like that.
Well, some of them are both local and national. Some of the local issues are, right now we're seeing an increase in the number of landlords, if you will, who advertise that they will not accept Section 8, which is against Ordinance 69953 of the City Code, which says that you must allow a Section 8 recipient the opportunity to apply for your housing and treat them no different than anyone else.
So in these cases, do you think the landlords just aren't aware of what the law is?
I believe some of them don't know, others don't care. They don't think they're going to get caught.
Okay.
And it'll take a while, but we'll catch them.
Okay, and typically you're catching them because our community members, the residents, people that may want to live there are bringing it to your attention, or is there other ways that you're looking for it?
Also advertisement.
Okay.
And so not only can you not have that as part of your interview process, but you cannot advertise that you don't accept Section 8. So if they're advertising on Craigslist or Zillow or any other platform, they're mentioning that and we're seeing it.
Okay.
Another one that we've come up with on public accommodation, which is the disability side, we have a number of restaurants in the city of St. Louis that have outdoor seating. Mm-hmm. But when you have outdoor seating that's in the public domain, meaning it's on a sidewalk, you must have at least one table and chair set up that allows people to wheelchair or handicap accessible. We saw a number, almost 3 years now, we saw a number of those that didn't have it. They had the high tables and the high chairs, which made it almost impossible for someone in a wheelchair to eat. So we sent out letters, and we now this year sent out 100 letters throughout the city reminding restaurateurs of their responsibility.
And how are those letters received? Do you find that for the most part the restaurants are open? They just didn't know perhaps what that regulation was, and so they're open to making those changes? Some
didn't know, and so we got a lot of phone calls the first year we did it. Mm-hmm. And we just told them, no, you're not under surveillance, no, you're not under investigation, no one has called in and complained. The bottom line is, we know you're a restaurant, you do outdoor seating. We just want to let you know in case you have to buy an extra table or chair that is a low height. And so we think we got very good reception. I think we had the first year 95 to 97% compliance. Mm-hmm. Last year was 98% compliance. We're going to do that again in September to see what the compliance is.
So you just go back, you go and send letters to all the restaurants?
Yeah, every restaurant that we can find that will have outdoor seating. And we do that early enough so that they can plan for it. So the letters will actually go out probably in February of next year. So they'll sweep all summer long.
Yeah. So, okay, very good. We're going to take a quick break right now. We're going to come back and talk about how the needs have changed over these 50 years, and also how our community can get in touch with you and for their various concerns. So stay with us to STL Live. We'll have more with the Civil Rights Enforcement Agency after this break.